I'm Zizi Majid, I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a DGF Playwriting Fellow. I think I've always wanted to be a storyteller. I grew up listening to my grandmother tell amazing stories. She was the best storyteller I've ever known. And my aunts and uncles as well. My memories of childhood is sitting around and hearing them tell these great stories. And so I always knew that I wanted to tell stories, but it took a while for me to actually shore up the courage to say that I want to be a writer. And I think it came about when I was working in a performing arts center as a production coordinator, and I was secretly writing plays while I was waiting for my shows to wrap up. And then I thought, like, you know, it's now or never. I gotta embrace it. I gotta be the writer that I want to be. The person that comes to mind is Rainer Maria Rilke. And I first fell in love with his poetry, of course, and the sort of like existentialist tussling with faith and nature. But what really changed, his work that really made a great mark on me is his Letters to a Young Poet, which was a series of letters that he wrote to a young poet who wrote to him and asked him for advice in writing. And what he says in those letters have really solidified and made me take the craft really seriously, and also given me the sort of resilience that I need to tap into as a writer. I'm working on The Rejects, which is about 4 Muslim women in an Ivy League college who don't fit into the norm core of what a Muslim woman should be. When one of them is accused and being made a scapegoat of an act of hate that occurs on campus, the 4 of them decide to shake up the PWI that is their college. Libraries, because I love the quiet, and also if I get stuck, I can just go to the shelves and lose myself in a section that and find some inspiration in the shelves. I tend to read a lot when I'm writing a play, and I read a whole spectrum of things. Like I will read poetry. If I'm researching a specific historical or political event, I will read a lot of that as well. But being in a library is really useful also because of the art books. It's almost like being able to visit a museum at your fingertips. The 3 plays that I think everyone should read are Ruined by Lynn Nottage, The Height of the Storm by Florian Zeller, and the third one is the Fragrant Trilogy by Mona Mansour.